But what we must bear in mind...
We must bear in mind that those who published it...
Well, bear in mind that Mr. Haley is as guilty as sin under our legal system.
Hey everyone, and welcome to TalkWord. This is where we take those tricky English phrases that can sometimes be a little confusing and we make them super simple. Our whole goal is to give you that confidence to use them perfectly, in your actual everyday conversations. All right, let's just get right to it. What on earth does a bear, the big furry animal, have to do with your mind? When you hear the phrase bear in mind, it can paint a pretty weird picture in your head, right? English idioms can be kind of strange sometimes, but don't worry, we're going to make this one crystal clear. Okay, let's dive into the real meaning. At its heart, bear in mind is really just a simple way to say, remember this important thing. It's like a little flag you plant in your brain to remind yourself or someone else to keep a key piece of information in your thoughts, especially when you're about to make a decision. Now, this is the key that unlocks the whole phrase. The big secret is that we are not talking about the animal at all. The word bear is also a verb. And as a verb, to bear means to carry or to hold something, usually something with a bit of weight or importance. That's the meaning we need to focus on. And this just makes it all click, doesn't it? When you bear something in mind, you are quite literally carrying a thought in your mind. You're holding on to it. So it's not about a grizzly bear. It's about shouldering a piece of knowledge. Once you get that mental image, the phrase is so much easier to remember. So, how do we actually use this in a sentence? Well, the great thing is it's super flexible, but it usually pops up in one of two ways. You can either bear something in mind, or you can say, bear in mind that, and then just follow it up with your full thought. Let's look at a few real-life examples of both. A classic. You've probably heard this from a teacher or your boss. It's a polite, but also a pretty firm way of saying, hey, remember this important fact, and please don't forget it. It just adds that little touch of seriousness to the reminder. Now, this is how you might use it with a friend who's about to make a big purchase. You're giving them some advice. You're basically saying, yeah, the phone is awesome, but you've really got to consider this other important point, the price, before you go and buy it. It's all about offering a balanced view. You might see or hear a sentence just like this in a travel announcement. It's just a helpful warning for everybody. It means, hey, remember this little fact when you're planning your trip because it's going to affect you. And finally, this is such a great way to respond to someone. It's a fantastic, super professional way to show that you've really heard and understood their advice or their criticism. It's like saying, I'm going to carry your suggestion with me and use it to do better next time. Okay, so now it's your turn. Let's make this stick. I want you to think about your week. What's coming up? Is there a big appointment, a deadline, or maybe some advice someone just gave you? What is one important thing you really, truly need to bear in mind? Coming up with your own example is the absolute best way to lock it in. And that's it. The big takeaway here is that you totally get this phrase now. You never have to be confused by it again. Just remember, it's not about the animal. It's about carrying an important thought. So now you can go out there and use it with confidence when you're giving reminders, offering advice, or taking feedback. It's a brand new tool in your English toolkit. So if you had fun with this and you want to keep building your vocabulary, the learning doesn't have to stop here. We actually built the TalkWord mobile app to help you practice and learn even more phrases just like this one. And here's the really cool part. With the TalkWord app, you can actually create your own little word explanation podcasts, and you'll be guided by our two friendly hosts. It's a really fun and interactive way to master new words. So go ahead and download it to keep learning. Thanks so much for watching.
Bear in mind, each of you, this may affect the rest of your careers, your lives.
Bear in mind, you can lose it all if you're not careful.